Hey everyone, welcome to an episode of the React Foundation series. In this episode right here, we're going to be doing another, the continuation from the previous episode, which we're going to talk a little bit about the Fronto Connect and Fronto API library that we open sourced. So if you haven't seen the first episode, check that out. So basically, we're going to be setting the header, and then basically the goal is once we set the header, we're going to try and actually make the request to the the API endpoint, and you'll see with just simple just a few lines of code how we're able to access our API. And as we move on, once we finish this intro episode and we are able to make the request, we're going to move on to actually build out this application, and it will move over to refactor like the old stuff, the old storage code to the new Fronto pattern. So we'll just go ahead and continue the app right after this. So basically, let's take a look at what we have. Right now, we're rendering the dashboard. So what we really want to do is we want to make a request to our endpoint, the accounts index endpoint, and basically check to see if the current user has an account. If they don't have an account, we want to show them the welcome package and then basically tell them, hey, you may want to create an account, and we'll look at how we do that in the next episode. So now let's get the store that we created in the previous episode to actually make the call. So I'm gonna head over into here. I already set everything up, as you can see here. I am then going to let's take a look at the index. So here is where we need to set up the header in the endpoint. So I'm going to head over here and do the header, and then h, and then here we can have h.append, and then x user token email first. So here we can set the header, and we can use the local storage.get item email, and h.append x user token, and then local storage get item token. So once we have this set up, all we need to do is just we just need to make the account, call this account and make the call and make the API call. So let's see how we do exactly that. So we're already passing this models into the provider, which means we should be able to just do an inject in our dashboard right here. So I'm going to head over into the dashboard, and I'm going to import inject mobx, observer from mobx react, and then basically here we can do inject account observer, and basically when we mount, so on component did mount, so component did mount, we can now do a const account equals this.props, and then we can do account.findAll. So basically, once we do that, once we set everything up, now when we do a find all, it should make the call to the API. So let's take a look in Firefox right over here. So I'm going to do a reload real quick, and you'll see that everything, there's no error. Let's do an inspect element and take a look at the network stack. So here we are. I'm going to do another reload to show you guys that everything is working. So you can see here we did a fetch, and we got it's a get request, and it's a 304 because nothing changed. And let's take a look at the response. So I'm going to head over into the URL here. So you can see in the URL, we're making the request to v1 accounts, and the response is empty because we don't have an account. And so now, how do we use this? Well, we'll show you. But let's take a look at what's going on the API, the server side of things. So we're making the call to the accounts, and it's loading the user based on the token that we passed over here. So this is the user that's being loaded, so we can get the current user. So as you can see, with very minimal code, we're able to just access our API like that. Like we don't have to write, comparison to the previous episode, from the old way of doing things is, it looks like this. And now we have none of this. This has all been done. And, this is something that we have been implementing multiple React projects, and then basically everything that we've learned from implementing those projects, we found the common patterns and extracted it into a library. So, I hope you guys liked, what we just showed you and liked the library. So, head over to the Fronto.js organization on GitHub and star our repositories, and we hope you find it useful. There's a few things missing in these libraries, and we're working to fix it. Like, I'm going to be adding test, adding continuous integration test and all that stuff into here. If you want to submit a pull request, please do. Let us know how we can improve this further. So for now, we are now using this in almost every project, and the code is very simple and very readable. It's very simple. That the bulk of it is just 75 lines of code, very easy to read, very easy to understand, and it solved a lot of problem. I mean, you can see here, this is the before, this is the after. Just 10 lines of code, and we're good to go. So yeah, let's continue, and we can see how we're gonna able to access the collection. The data that we retrieved. So I'm gonna head over into the dashboard over here. And basically, once we make the call, what we can do is here, we can do a const collection is loading equals this.props.accounts. And so here, now we can check to see, if the collection is empty or not. So console.log collection. All right, so let's take a look at what's in the collection. So I'm going to head over into the browser here, back to our app, and I'm going to do a reload real quick. So you see over here, we already have the object. So I can take a look, and the data over here. So it's obviously empty. We can see that. And so basically what we're going to be doing in the next episode is we're going to basically take this, this what we have set up here and continue to build our app. So we're going to check that, oh, hey, if it's empty, then we render the welcome package. And if not, we render the collection of accounts. So yeah, with that, I want to wrap it up. I hope you guys found this episode useful. I hope you guys like what we're doing open source. Also, don't forget to star the repositories and become a member. So, because by becoming a member, you're supporting everything we're doing, including the open source stuff that we just released. So yeah, with that, I want to wrap it up, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.